have been faithful throughout the years since time began. Sovereign King, able to save and keep this wretched man who made it neza. Ufalme na mamlaka yako Bwana, ndio maana nakutegemea mwaminifu. You are faithful till the end. On your word I shall depend.
So he was forced to use other dubious means to get that more, to satisfy his greed, which unfortunately was that appetite for more wealth was insatiable for Mika. That's why he went to any length to do that. Yes.
There's also his thirst for women.
Village women.
Village women to be
He
specific.
did not love contaminated women. The
Contaminated.
yeah.
Wow.
That's what he said.
City ladies are called, according to Mika, they're contaminated.
Yes.
Jehovah.
He wanted them naive and, in quotes, clean.
Hi guys, welcome back to Beyond the Pulpit podcast. My name is Trisian Nyambura and this is episode 36. Today's guest is not very new to our show. She was here for episode 16. But first things first, before I introduce her, make sure you subscribed. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. That one song that we've been singing constantly for months on end, we are almost there. So if you are watching us and you've not subscribed, we are at 830, 100, just 170 more so that we can get to 1,000. So make us achieve that by just subscribing. It will cost you absolutely nothing. On top of that, you can go ahead and follow us on our social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, Facebook as well. You can go ahead and follow us on there and give us your feedback. Ensure that you've commented on our episodes down below what you want to see. Yeah, and we will be happy. We're happy to introduce that we have merchandise again. T-shirts, hoodies, we have bookmarks coming up, we have wristbands and all of that. So if you want any of our merchandise, branded BTP, kindly support us by DMing us and then tell us what you want and we will get it to you asaptually. All right? Thank you very much. Najua nimesema asaptually, teacher ataniambia kama ni jina ya English, but it's my new favorite word. Very much, very much. So, like I said, our guest today is not new on this show. She was here for episode 16. Her name is Beatrice Murage, teacher Beatrice Murage. She is the author of these 2 books. When she came, she only had one, volume 1, Blue Kanyoni, volume 1. And she promised us that volume 2 is coming up. And unlike our government, alisema na akatenda, volume 2 is here. And we are here to talk about Blue Kanyoni, volume 2. Karibu sana, teacher.
Thank you.
How have you been since you were last on set? That was many months ago.
Yeah.
Remember to go episode 36. That is more than half.
You have grown and you are growing.
Yeah, we are. We thank the Lord.
Sure.
Thank the Lord. By the way, after we released your episodes, you really gave us a lot of subscribers. Let me just say it. A lot of your followers, a lot of your friends came on board and followed us. I think we gained almost 80, if not 100 more. More than 50 new subscribers. So thank you so much. You have a movement of followers.
I didn't know.
You have a movement of followers. Uko na mafans huku nje.
Wow.
So yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you again for honoring our second invite to come here and talk about Blue Kanyoni Volume 2.
Yes.
If you're watching us and you're wondering what Blue Kanyoni is, tutakudirect to kwa episode 1 and watch ndo ujue Mama Koi and Wangoi and the rest ni akina nani, then come watch volume 2, I mean this second episode, and then get yourself this copy. We will tell you how you're going to get this copy, but I think by the time you're finishing her episode, the other episode, you'll know how to get the book. So yeah. So teacher, what made you write book 2? I know we talked about it in episode 1, but what made you write book 2? Did you feel like story iko imeisha at volume 1?
Okay, thank you.
Mm.
First of all, I hope the viewers, you have subscribed.
Thank you.
Please subscribe.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And thank you very much. It's an honor for
You're
me
welcome.
to be here.
You're welcome. By the way, you gave us a shout out in your book. I was so excited.
Oh.
She wrote nakwambia tumekuwa watu wakubwa. Kuna mahali on page 4 of the acknowledgements aliandika, I also wish to thank Pastor Silas for granting me an interview with Beyond the Pulpit to talk about Blue Kanyoni. Umeandika kwa kitabu? Wewe umeandika kwa kitabu? Sisi tumeandika. Acha niendelee kuringa. Sorry.
Yeah. So, Blue Kanyoni Volume 1. As I said, it started like just a simple story on Facebook. I was to do only one episode. I mean, one segment too, for fun. So many people commented, they loved the story. So I said, oh, let me compose another one. I did another one, and a continuation.
Yeah. It's like an article on Facebook.
Like a story too, about somebody, Babako in my village. By then, my mom had called me, had told me, you call your dad. Amepokea pesa ya coffee. Wambia kurushie kitu.
Okay.
Then, nikakumbuka what some men used to do during that time. So that's why I wrote that story. So nikaongeza. Then I did another one. And then somebody told me, hi, Beatrice, this is a novel. So I kept on writing. So it's a long, long story. And believe you me, when I wrote that, whatever I did like today, I didn't know what I would write tomorrow. Lakini ka story kalikuwa kana develop too.
During the day, to ile siku, your creativity is very high.
Yes. And if a day passed, kama sija post, people would call me or even text me, hey, Beatrice, we are waiting. So that one gave me the morale.
Oh, wow.
Nikaendelea. So finally, I decided, I've always loved writing. So why not give it a try? So I sent the whole story to the publisher, just the way it was on Facebook. So he gave me a feedback. I went back and did the story. So what happened, when I did the story, I realized if I did the whole story in one book, it would be very big.
Or it will have more pages.
Yes.
Because book 1 has around, 191.
Yes.
Okay. I understand. Book 2, 157.
Yes.
That's a lot of pages. Hiyo ni 300.
Ni 300.
Yeah.
So nikakata. So where the story has ended in volume 1, that is actually half of the story. So doing volume 2 was not a big issue for me because I had the story. So I just refined, dropped some things, added others, brought in some other characters, dropped some. So to me, it was just a continuation.
Okay.
Yeah, so the story has begun in volume 1, has ended in volume 2.
Kuna volume 3?
I've been challenged to go back and do volume 3.
Really?
I'm still thinking about it.
We want to see Mama Koi's newborn. Now that we have started to talk about the book, could you kindly just briefly take us through the setting of book 1 for those who have not watched it and will refuse to go to episode 16 and watch? Just take us through briefly. Tell us again about Blue Kanyoni, about the village in, is it Kirinyaga?
Kirinyaga.
Yes, talk to us about that. You've talked about the coffee. And then now, usituambie kila kitu kwa book 1. And then now we get to volume 2 because there's a lot of new characters in book 2.
Yeah.
Chantel apparently dies. Something I was not prepared for. So yeah, take us through book 1 and the setting that you were talking about coffee farmers and how they used to mishandle the coffee boom money.
Okay, one of the reasons why I decided to write about my village, I have read This Fallen Hero, Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o's books.
Oh, yeah, may his soul rest in peace for sure.
Yeah. And among his many, many books, I love The River Between.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. To me, that is according to Beatrice. That was, is, and will forever be a masterpiece. The way he used the river as, that is symbolism in literature, is something, and you see, it was a very long time ago, but still to date, many, many years later, people still refer to that book, especially because of symbolism, the river. And Ngugi wa Thiong'o said one thing when there was a question of this man, according to his books and some analysts, he didn't like the white man. So the question is, if you did not like the white man, why learn his language?
And then write in it.
And write in it.
Okay.
But there's something he said. If you learn all other languages in the world and fail to learn the language, your mother tongue, or the language of your culture, that is enslavement. But if you learn all the languages in the world and learn your mother tongue or the language of your culture, that is empowerment.
No, what I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I
so,
100% agree.
This man has traveled. This man has read books. This man has written. In fact, to me, he's the father of literature.
He is very celebrated in our country.
And most of the writers today, including Beatrice, look up to him. We have read his work, and despite all that, he believed in his culture and was a champion of our ways, the African identity. Yeah. So that's why I felt so proud of writing about my village.
Okay.
And telling the world about my village. So whatever is in my book, that is what happens. That is the period between 2000 and 2005 there. Yeah, that's the time I can say I had grown to realize and understand what happens in my village.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I chose to write about my village before I write about other places like my place of work. That one I will.
You'll have to write about your place of work.
I've been in KBA for 12 years now.
Wow.
I'm sure that is a whole book.
That's a book.
That's a book.
Hiyo na kwanza mnatupatia tu pole. Book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4.
I'm in page 67.
Already?
Yes.
This one will be, I think you will be one of the guests who will always be back at BTP. Nakaribishwa anytime.
And unto the people who have not been faithful.
Umeshtakiwa? Wamesemwa?
On a light note, anyway.
Wamesema msiogope.
So I've written about my village. Then I'm writing a book about now teacher Beatrice. What I've seen. I've been in the field for 20 years now.
Since you began teaching?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my 20th year in the field.
Here. 20 years?
Yes.
That is almost all my life. I have some change left. A little bit of change. Wow.
Sure. And some of my pupils that I've seen.
Wako huku. Wanatufanyia kazi.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are here reading your books.
Yeah. They are the people who have made teacher Beatrice to be who she is today as a teacher.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So back to my book, volume 1. It begins as just a simple story of a man who has gone to withdraw money. A man who has been a true family man and very committed and very stingy, especially to himself, but a great provider. He goes to withdraw money, decides, let me irrigate my throat with at least 2. And then in the process, a very beautiful woman appears. And that is where his story changes completely. So these are the women, as I had said in my other interview, these are women who had mastered the art of seduction. So she knew this is a village man. A village man whose wife only knows him as Baba, so and so. But here comes a woman with some sweet words, Mr. Handsome. Yeah.
Nawako.
Yeah. So that is where the story, the Blue Kanyoni story started. Yeah, Blue Kanyoni is not a blue bird.
Like I thought.
It is not. At a blue small bird.
Yeah.
Blue Kanyoni is an estate in Kerugoya town. Was. It is no longer there.
It was renamed.
Okay. Ilikuwa two structures that were not very attractive. So zilibomolewa and new structures. So nobody talks of the place. Nobody refers to that place as that name.
Okay. Okay. I can see that in here. Not in here. The cover is different. We have this lady in a white
the prophetess.
robe, the Warogoro. These two, I'm assuming these are the two drunkards of the village.
Yes, they are.
And then these two?
That is Mama Koi and Tabitha.
And Tabitha. And there's a cross. And then there's like a Blue Kanyoni, which is also very poetic of some sort.
Yeah, it is.
It's really poetic of some sort to have a Blue Kanyoni on the cover. And there's the Bible. Did we have Warogoro in this book? In volume 1? Were we introduced?
The prophetess?
Yes.
Yes, she's there.
She's there? Okay. Okay. Aya. Now talk to us about the setting of volume 2. Because we do have new characters like Mika. And the rest. I cannot remember all of them.
Yeah.
You've talked about Chantel and her skill to seduce women. We come to find out in book 2 that she was actually sent by this Mika person to seduce. And apparently this Mika is a thug of some sort who is he's a businessman, but he sends women to seduce men with money and don't talk to us about it.
Now, volume 1, as I've said, that is where the story begins and ends in volume 2. So what I've done, I've used twists and turns. That is my tool. That is my strength in writing.
There are so many plot twists in this book. I did not expect it.
Yeah. That is what I wanted. That volume 2 is now what brings the truth in.
Okay, the story in volume 1 now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is just a story in volume 1, but the truth is in volume 2. The truth that no one expected. No one.
Yeah.
So, volume 2, the most interesting thing about volume 2 is the village these hopeless drunkards are the ones carrying the truth. And why they didn't speak is nobody would have believed them.
Yeah.
Like the society we are today.
That
sometimes the accuser becomes the accused. And that is the society we are living in today. Yeah. Where if these men went to the police station, just even the way I've described their dressing, these are people walikuwa medharauliwa sana by the villagers. So even if they went to report what they saw, one of them saw that night when Wangui was murdered, nobody would have believed them. So they decided to keep quiet. Yeah. Because how do you accuse a rich man? Yeah. So that is the society.
And you're poor. And you're less fortunate.
You are poor.
You have nothing to your name.
These are people, anywhere they passed, people knew. Hawa wanakuja kuangalia what they can steal so that they can drink. One of them, like a Kakuya there, despite being a very respected mason, did not even have a door to his kitchen. So kitchen haina mlango. these are the people, if they, whatever they wore was because of the generosity of the villagers. Ile siku unasemanga leo, let me clean my wardrobe.
Niko na nguo nyingi.
Kona nguo nyingi sana. So those were the people walikuwa naambiwa chukua hii. So if they had a change, ni when a villager has decided to extend
a helping hand.
Yeah.
Nice. I like how you brought out the importance of these two characters in this book. Because in our current, you know, they say literature, it reflects the society,
sure.
which is very true. Hata saizi, when you walk around the streets of Kahawa West and wherever, very few people will pay attention to that drunkard, to that madman. They're just like, that's how we are easy to say.
And anytime they approach you, you quickly dismiss them.
Kwanza Iran.
Unaona, maybe they just want something from you. Yeah.
They are just about to do something very mischievous. Yeah.
And you see in the same book, at some point they tried. They went to the pastor. The wife quickly dismissed them with very unkind words. They went to the assistant chief, who on seeing them first, alitoa kiboko.
Tuache kudharau watu. They could be carrying very important information.
The other character in the same book is Wakaro.
Yes.
The village gossip.
Yeah.
And at some point, she disappeared. And some things happened in the village. And people started missing her because they knew, you know, this is a kind of a woman or a workmate who knows about everyone,
everything,
and everything. And most of the times, they are never wrong.
Yeah.
You may dismiss them, but they are never wrong.
Unasema ule anapenda tu kuongea, ule anapenda mushene, but it's true.
And even the villagers used to say, ukisikia Wakaro wakisema something, my friend, kuna ukweli hapo. So at some point, she disappeared. And that's when some things started happening in the village. And they started missing her. Because they were even saying, if this lady was here, all these questions we are asking ourselves, the owner of the Witemere bar and the barber shop, she would be telling us who this person is. This bar, this barber shop that has taken all the men, even the ones who did not used to drink, started drinking. Even those men, walikuwa melea afro. Walinyoa. Because of the women.
Kuna wasichana huko kwa vinyozi.
Yeah. And beauty, I think, was the first qualification of getting a job there. Yeah, kwanza the bar. You had to be beautiful.
If you're beautiful, you'll attract customers.
That is the thing.
Even kinyozis. Do you know, it's really interesting that you've reflected exactly what is happening. There was a time there was a discussion, I think it was last year. I think women and other people were coming online to talk about how their husbands are spending time in vinyozis and how indecent the vinyozi ladies dress. I have been to a kinyozi and it's not a pleasant.
It's not a pleasant.
It's not a pleasant, especially as a lady. You'd literally cringe at the sight of those women because they're wearing very short dresses, tons of makeup on their face, and acting in ways that is very seductive so that they can attract customers. It's almost like they're selling their bodies to attract customers, which is not the best thing to do. But when you come to hear these stories, they tell you that is how they earn extra money. Because you'll get a haircut at 300 shillings. They'll massage you, touch your chest and your neck. You leave them another tip, 300 bob.
And you'll be back there.
2 weeks later or a week later for the same service.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that is town now, eh? So this is a bar, iko Ushago. These old men wa Ushago and of course the young men, they were used to just one bar. Kinyozi moja tu. Yeah, one minor. So kumeletwa kinyozi sasa.
Luxury spa.
Na the charges zilikuwa the same. If minor was charging 20, the ladies were charging 20.
At no extra cost.
At no extra cost. Before long, bar imekuja selling beer at the same cost, but look at the comfort.
The ladies, yeah. Again, the ladies.
So even the villagers wenye wako wanakunywa, they found themselves
wanaenda
drinking.
kuona ni nini, lakini huwezi enda uone na meza
And
iko
to
empty.
make the matters even worse, hii local beer kwetu tulikuwa tunaita masebebu. Hii ya kubrew kwa like
it's almost like changa.
Yeah, changa.
Okay.
Even the Witemere bar started providing at the same cost.
Yeah.
So why go in a coffee plantation where you can be arrested by the police at any time when you can just sit comfortably at the same price?
Yeah.
And better services. So that's when the people started asking, now this Wakaro character is also important.
Yeah.
And somebody even said, these characters like Wakaro are very important in the society.
True.
These gossip mongers, they are very important. Because you will be very careful when you're doing something.
Itafika.
She even told them,
yeah,
if I was not nosy, people would be very careless. Yeah, people would be very careless.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Juu habari lazima itafika.
Lazima itafika.
Nilikuwa na jana umelala kwa mtaro, wacha kijiji mzima ijue. Because why are you doing that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we should learn how to embrace rumor-mongers in the society.
Accommodate everybody in life.
Everyone
in
plays
life.
a role.
Everyone plays a role in this life, and they're important. Whether they are thorn in your flesh or not, accommodate them, love them, pray for them. Yes.
Okay. Aya. There's a character, Mika, who is the owner now of the bar, the barber shop.
Yes.
And so many other businesses that he comes along to plant around. I found his character very greedy. I don't know if I should say that.
Yeah.
I think he's very greedy. So tell us about the character. What inspired you to like have such a character in this book? Because I think it's also a reflection of the outside society, of our society out here.
Yeah. The character of Mika came in. I was trying to bring out contentment in life. We are not told not to work hard. We should work hard. We should be ambitious. We should be determined. But contentment is also very important.
True.
When God blesses you, it is good to ask for more. But it is more important to be contented.
Yeah.
Because the minute you do not have that in your life, you will always be yearning for more and more. Mika was already rich. He was rich, but he was never satisfied. So he was never contented. He wanted more and more. And you see, wealth may not come just like that. So he was forced to use other dubious means to get that more, to satisfy his greed, which unfortunately was that appetite for more wealth was insatiable for Mika. That's why he went to any length to do that. Yes.
There's also his thirst for women.
Village women.
Village women to be specific.
He did not love contaminated women. The city
contaminated.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what he said.
City ladies are called, according to Mika, they're contaminated.
Yes.
Jehovah.
He wanted them naive and, in quotes, clean.
That is why he was using now other beautiful and contaminated ladies to seduce village men and then leave the village women available for him.
Yes. And look at the approach he used in volume 1. Very calm, very concerned.
Mama Koi.
Yeah. To Mama Koi, Mika was the next god. Always there. And Mama Koi almost gave in. But I thank God she didn't.
She's a wise woman.
Yeah, she's a wise
Yeah,
woman.
she still respected her marriage despite.
Yeah, the temptations were there. These had some man
Yeah.
giving you his time, attention, a man who is educated, but he's there for you. So, naturally, a woman.
Those are the things we fall for. It's very
appreciation,
true.
attention, and affection.
That's it.
That's all that a woman needs.
That's all.
Yeah.
Emotion.
And you can see Baba Koi is also complaining when he doesn't get that from home. And Mika is also complaining that Tabitha doesn't show appreciation, affection, and attention. And that is a cry in very many homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah, we have time. A few more years left. We don't know.
Yeah.
So that's Mika. There's Moneki, Wambogo, and all of those characters. There was the story, Wangui died.
Yeah, Wangui
died. And there's the investigation of her death.
And Mika was on the front line.
Very much on the front line. Actually, he is the murderer. He is the murderer. Yeah. Lest people believed the Irongo and the other one. What's his name? Irongo is Gakuya. People should have believed them or even listened to them.
Too bad they were not even given a chance to talk. So they kept quiet.
Gave them airtime.
And at some point they also became beneficiaries of Mika.
That's sad. We can see how our society is very much reflecting here.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, the investigation bit. We see the investigation of Wangui's death. And then someone finds Chantel. Chantel ran away, was kidnapped.
Chantel?
Okay, we assumed she was dead.
Yeah.
In the beginning, we thought.
Chantel is not dead. And that is one of the major twists.
That was a plot twist, yeah.
Yeah, so let them buy the book.
All right. I really love this book. And now I think we can get to some of the themes. And are they called themes? Tulikuwa tunazita themes in high school.
The themes, the stylistic devices.
Those ones. All of them that you've brought out in volume 2.
So there's the cultural aspect. That is what defines us as the village. There are some things that we have held on to. That is, however modernized we are, there are things that are still close to us. Like now, my mom in the village tells me that sweeping is done in the morning. And that is also what Wangui had advised the daughter-in-law, Mama Koi, that when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is to clean the compound and you sweep. And sweeping is not done in the afternoon. And when you do the sweeping in the afternoon, you are sweeping away the blessings. I don't know how that is.
I have never heard of that.
But let me tell you, in my home, you cannot sweep my mother's compound.
In the afternoon?
In the afternoon.
You wake up very early.
That's the first thing you do.
Yeah.
Then there is the aspect of the dowry that my mother cannot receive my dowry if my dad did not pay her dowry. So it is completed. Yeah. So it is very well brought out there.
Yes.
And there is the procedure of how the dowry is paid. So you can see Wakaro, when Muthie was supposed to pay the dowry, she's supposed to she's the bride, she's the girl.
Yeah.
So she's supposed to remain in the room until she's called
out. Yeah.
Otherwise, value yake itaenda chini. If you are seen by the
groom.
The groom.
I did not
before
know
you
that.
are allowed.
I actually did not know that.
Well, my friend, the day of your dowry, you
Amen.
remain locked in your room.
I knew that happened. I've actually seen it happen, but I did not know that was the symbolism that you value. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's good to learn.
So they may end up paying
less.
Yes.
But this person has seen me before. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, for example, Wakaro. She was married. Okay, they were living together with Muzie.
So but as long as her dowry had not been paid, there is no way still. Now the daughter would have brought the dowry.
Yeah.
So we have seen that happening. Now, you don't just visit the Wakaro's home empty-handed. And there is the pattern. Lazima ushuhulie kiodo na soda na mngoje kufunguliwa gate.
Mukimba hodi goko.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. But at the same time, we have also embraced modernity and Christianity. So you can see during the dowry payment, Reverend is there. Yes, Reverend is there.
Just to mention, and it was Reverend Joel.
Reverend Joel.
Inspired. Yeah.
So we have, at some point, dropped some things that, like Wakaro and the family, it's a Christian family. They have the Christian beliefs. That's why you don't see anywhere in the dowry that there was beer. But the tradition?
They're equal.
Yeah. So the fact that we have embraced modernity na our Christian beliefs does not mean that we drop the tradition, but kuna zile tumeachana nazo. Yeah, like you see, Mama Koi alikata second wife at some point. Alikuwa amekataa kabisa. But in the first, that was not a problem. Yeah. But now, Christianity inasema one man, one wife.
Yeah.
One wife who is
a woman. Just to be clear.
And one man who is a man.
A man.
Yes.
Hizi maneno za sijui polyamoury and whatever.
So in my book, I've been very cautious. What are we borrowing? Acceptable things. What are we dropping where we feel
there's a bit of conflict
na kufinyiliwa, something like that. So you can see it's also in my book, you don't sell land that has been given to you, ancestral land.
Yeah.
And even Wangui is saying, I would rather die than seeing you sell the ancestral land. Na kuna these trees in my home zinaitwa miringa. I don't know. I have still never understood the value, but anybody who has those trees in my village, ni ngumu sana kuuza.
Oh. It's like a mugumu tree. Almost.
Okay, haina hiyo
ile holiness. Okay.
But I don't know whether it is for beauty.
It's a very valued species.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Okay. Like my own grandfather, hangekuuzia.
Okay.
That was his forest. Part of his land was a forest.
And it cannot be cut down as well. Do you know the name of that tree in English? Inaitwa miringa. That's in Kikuyu. That's okay. Sijui kama ChatGPT atatusaidia juu siku hizi ameanza kujua Kikuyu and other languages. Okay, we talked about the cultural in the book. That's the cultural theme. Any other theme that is?
Yeah, there's also
we can talk about maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah. There's also the bit of pain and healing. And one of the reasons why I put that in that book, I've never talked about it in the many stories that I've written, but in 2017, I had a daughter who lived with me for 12 days. Yeah. And unfortunately, she passed on. It was a very painful experience for me. Yeah. I've never known something like that. You see, Sisi, I knew when you get pregnant, ni kawaida, carrying the pregnancy to full term, kwenda hospitali, kupata mtoto na kutoka. So to me, it was almost natural. Kitu ya kawaida tu. Yeah. But in 2017, my doctor noted there was a problem at 4 months.
Really?
Yeah.
With the
in
child?
The pregnancy.
Okay.
Aliniambia growth haiko sawa ya mtoto. So nikapewa supplements za I may not be able to explain. Kina I think ilikuwa kuboost. So unfortunately, I'm the one who added weight.
Oh, instead of the baby? Really?
Appetite nilikuwa nayo. Na nika add weight. But the baby didn't. So tukasonga at 8 months. I don't know what happened. Nilikuwa nimeattend my normal clinic. The daktari told me there is no amniotic fluids. Nilikuwa nimeenda tu clinic kama kawaida, then I come back to work.
What do you mean there is no amniotic fluid?
In fact, I had told Mr. Michael by 9 I would be in school. Yeah.
Wait.
Unfortunately, by that 9, I was on my way to the hospital because my gyna is in town. So I don't know what happened. But akaniambia there is no amniotic fluid. So you just have to be delivered.
Amniotic ilikuwa imeenda wapi? Did you your water did not break?
Yeah, it didn't. So I don't know what happened. So by the time najiuliza maswali, the doctor is telling me, my friend, you should be in the hospital admitted in the next 2 hours. So ushaisikia ni kama you're in another world. Hauko kwa hii dunia kawaida. Hauko kwa hii dunia kawaida. So nauliza daktari, hii amniotic fluid haizi tafutwa niwekwe?
Okay.
Today I can laugh, but that time I didn't. So the following day nilikuwa theater. Na the girl was there. My Wangui. That's where the name came from. Yeah.
Okay.
So the girl was 1.1
kgs.
Yes, at 8 months. So the baby was not growing. So nikaingia theater. Okay, the whatever. Sasa nikaambiwa. I'm still in shock. So nauliza daktari, sasa now what next? He told me now, you'll be in the hospital for the next not less than 6 weeks. Not less than 6 weeks.
Why?
Because the baby was too small.
And lazima sasa
kwa incubator. So tukakaa 4 days. Sasa nikaambiwa now the insurance haiwezi endelea. NHIF itakulipia kitanda for 4 nights. Sasa kutoka hapa it's you to pay. Sasa nikaingia. So tukakaa and we decided the best thing to do is to go home and leave the child.
Iko bili ya mtu mmoja sasa.
Sasa mtoto sasa. Because I couldn't afford to pay 4,000 per day.
For 6 weeks.
For 6 weeks. So I express milk. I send somebody. Because by now, pia movement singeiweza sana.
Umetoka surgery.
Nimetoka surgery. So niko home. Mtoto wako hospitali. So the only thing I can do is call.
Yeah. ask how the baby is
how
doing.
the baby is doing. So tukakaka, nikapigiwa nikaambiwa the baby is sick.
After how long? 4 days you left the hospital then?
So ilikuwa like I think it was the 8th day, the 8th, 9th day. So nikaambiwa the baby is sick. So I had to go. Na sasa unaona sasa ni gharama juu where I'm living unless I pick a taxi. Kwenda huko na back again. Because I'm still in pain. So to cut the long story short, after 3 days hivi, akatolewa now from that whatever, kapelekwa the same room, lakini sasa ni ICU. So she spent 1 day in the ICU, 1 day in the HDU. And that is when they were still doing the investigations. Na daktari bwana, daktari, wakuwe na utu. Because the doctor told me casually, Beatrice, your baby is the sickest in this ward. So where we are, ni maombi tu. If you pray, if you believe, enda ukaombe.
What?
Yeah. Na maisha yake ikaendelea.
Zero remorse, zero sympathy, zero consideration that you are the mother.
Yes.
And you're feeling the pain.
And I could hear him laughing with the nurses after
that.
Yani
My goodness.
Yeah. So for around 2 days, nilikuwa naenda, narudi kwa nyumba. So at some point, nikaambiwa, I was called. Kuna lodge, tulikuwa tunaenda kupumzika hapo. I was not alone, you amini? So nikaitwa, nikaambiwa now, your baby is experiencing multiple organ failure. Kidney imeanza kufail, liver, the heart. So within 5 minutes or so, the baby passed on. So there was Beatrice. The breasts are full with milk. There is the wood. So nianze the healing journey.
Physical, emotional, mental, everything.
Yes, everything. So that is one of the reasons why I chose pain and healing. Not really the actual thing that is there, but there's something I wanted to show people that nobody is immune to pain. Whether you are rich, whether you are poor. Today, you are happy. Tomorrow, unagongwa na kitu. Unashindwa, oh my God.
How am I supposed to
Today, Mama Koi had a husband, a great provider, a loving man. In fact, Mama Koi hakuwa anajua anything about money. I mean, hata price ya vitu hakuwa anajua.
The man was the provider.
The man was the provider. Mpaka chama analipiwa. And Mama Koi lived her life knowing I have a man who is the key decision maker at home. Yani everything was about that man. Baba Koi akisema, ile unasikianga a woman saying, akiulizwa swali, wacha tusikie vile baba nani atasema. Na vile baba nani atasema ndivyo tutafanya. Yeah. But all that changed in one night. No signs. Hakukuwa na signs.
None.
There was no warning. There was no preparedness. So when such things come in your life, what do you do? They have come. Utafanya nini? Yes. One day, I was pregnant. The following evening, niko kwa hospitali. Nimeambiwa sasa, huyu mtoto lazima tutoe. Now, we cannot lie to you. Chances of survival are minimal. Because this is a child, hakuwa na grow vizuri. Na, I was the doctor was very clear. Now after the mtoto ametolewa, the nurse, the doctor now, I think the specialist wa preterm, she met me and explained everything. Yeah.
Why the baby wasn't growing?
Not even why the baby wasn't growing, but now this journey, tuko kwa incubator.
Okay.
What may happen?
You were being
Sometimes.
prepared.
I was prepared. She prepared me. And I thank God that she did. So, in this life, you need courage. You need courage. And courage comes from what do you speak to yourself? Wewe unajiambia nini? Because at that time, Mama Koi, the husband has disappeared. So kila mtu anamwambia, hiyo ni kawaida ya wanaume. Wacha aoe, si aja kufukuza. Si akuchapi. Si he still comes. Na huyo mtu anaenda. Another one, why don't we try the services of a witch doctor? Ndio.
Arudi. Kama unamfunga.
Ni kama unamfunga. Arudi. So huyo anaenda. But at the end of the day, behind closed doors, she was alone. She was facing it alone. So what comes from within you when you are going through pain, that is very important. Ni nini unajiambia? Yeah. And the best way I learned to deal with pain is to live through it. You feel like crying, cry. Some days you are so encouraged. You want to walk. Some days you are down.
You don't even want to leave the bed.
You don't want to leave your bed. Unaangalia huko unaona sunrise. Sasa unashindwa. Hii jua inakuja kufanya nini? You hear people talking huko nje. And you wonder, are they mocking me? Are they mocking me or? So that is the same thing I relate to what was happening to me at that time. Yeah.
Yo, pole sana.
Yeah.
That is, wow.
Yeah. And I told myself, I will use my story to encourage somebody else.
Yeah.
That right now, the pain may be too much, but someday healing will come. Yeah. And I believe, some people don't believe, but time heals. To me, it has.
It has?
Yeah. It is around 8 years now. Yes. Yeah, it is still painful, but it is not as much painful as it was. And when people, I write on Facebook, and as you have said, I have a huge following.
You do?
Yeah. And I like humor. That is my best style of writing. Humor. So that Beatrice who laughs like that in my story, because a good writer writes to your soul.
True.
And if people cannot feel what you have written, then you have not written. Yeah. Hata wakisoma tu na
zero emotions.
Zero emotions. Then you have not written. People should laugh. I like it when somebody was telling me, when I was reading your book, I was laughing. Alone. That is a writer. So when they read my pieces on Facebook and we laugh together, they don't know that Beatrice has also gone through pain. Beatrice is not special or immune to pain. I've gone through it. But today, I can smile.
Yeah.
And I thank God I did not sink into depression. Because I would have.
Yeah, it would have been bound to happen.
Yeah. I immersed that needy jipatia courage. Yeah, and I comforted myself that this is not the end. This is not the end. Pain is there for people.
True. And that sucks. It is even very sad to know that.
Yeah.
Pain is here.
Pain is here. Haiendi anywhere. It is
Not
part and
today.
parcel of us. Whoever you are. The maisha, it can change at any moment. Be happy. Be contented. As I said, work hard, but be contented with what you have. Thank God every day. And when we go before God, the first thing, let's thank Him. Let's thank Him, because in life, there is somebody who is worse than you. As much as there is somebody who is doing very well, way better than you, there is also somebody below there. And believe you me, the people who are below there are more. Are more. And don't focus on that. We empower the devil by talking about what we don't have or what has caused pain. So contentment and gratitude are key in life. And that's what I've come to learn. Treat people well. Be humble. Yes.
Like that you've mentioned gratitude. And I think in different seasons of someone's life, it's, especially in the tough seasons, it's really difficult to find gratitude or to even be grateful for anything.
Yes, and that's where we keep on empowering the devil.
Yeah. Because you're like, Sasa, what's this? You forget that you're alive.
Yeah.
You've slept.
And if you look keenly in your life, even when you are at your lowest, look keenly. There is always something to be grateful about. There is. Yeah. Today, when you are told to count our blessings, name them one by one, and you'll see
what the Lord has done.
Good. So when you are going through those tough moments, sing that song. And one of why Reverend Joel Ijairo found himself in my book. My friend, every time I listen to a sermon by Pastor Ijairo, Reverend Ijairo, I always know I have a chapter to add somewhere.
Really?
That man is gifted.
He is.
Yeah.
I agree.
Especially on the sermons of being gratitude, of being grateful. Yeah. Yeah, he does it.
Awesome. Wow. That I did not see that part of this interview coming, but thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah, the reason why I've decided to share it is when people see me laughing on Facebook, they should not think that the life of one BM has been
a scale going up.
My friend, it hasn't been.
You see, that's the thing about social media.
Yeah.
That's the thing about social media. You think that someone is sharing their life with you. You don't know the scars. You don't know. Until you sit down and talk to them, you're like, wait, okay.
You can never know.
You have a reason to laugh.
Yeah, I have.
You've cried before.
I cried before. And that one person who is crying right now, you'll not always cry.
Yeah, you'll laugh again.
There's a time you'll also use your experience to encourage somebody else. That is what somebody told me that time when I was crying, that Beatrice, you will use your story to encourage somebody else. Somebody said, the small caskets are the heaviest. And they are heavy.
That is one, I don't know if it's a saying or a quote. That's one that actually really, it's heavy, even to think about it.
So when I write about Koi, I imagine how this girl, and you can see in volume 1, Koi is very close to the mom.
Yeah.
So venye alikuwa na mchana nywele, when the mom was sad, she would prepare tea for the mom. She knew the mom when she was sad, when she was happy. Kuna vile, and even Mama Koi, kuna mahali anasema, she really missed the Koi when she went to high school. And that is unfortunately the same period when the mother-in-law was murdered. Na yeye Koi akaenda high school. Yeah.
Wow, okay. So others also write about their personal experience in a different way.
In a different way.
Because you really can't write everything about yourself in a book.
Sure.
Wow. Wow. I like how that pain and healing was brought out.
Yeah.
Hey, we thank God. We thank God. That was another theme that you've captured. Is there any other that we can talk about before we wrap up?
Yeah. Okay, I've talked
Ama
about
tuambie watu wanunue kitabu.
tradition.
Yeah.
There's modernity. There is
Pain and healing.
Maybe the style I've used most, the humor. I
You've
like
known
it.
how to capture it.
Yeah.
You've known how to capture
So
your
why I used humor was kuleta hiyo ni neutralize these very high tension moments in the story, like when the mother Baba Koi amejua that Mika, the same person who used his hands to help you carry the coffin of your mom, the same person who provided a shoulder to lean on when you are in pain, that this same person who is there for your family is actually the cause of your pain. And not just you.
Your family.
Your family and your village.
Yeah.
And you are the person who brought this person into the village. So you can imagine the guilt, the pain, the feeling of betrayal.
Yeah.
So hiyo yote unafika mahali unachanganya na how Muthie showed up for his dowry.
Yeah, drunk.
Amekunywa pesa yote out of, was it 30,000?
Yeah.
Alipatikana na 50 bob. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's that style. So I would say let people buy the book and get the real thing. Yes,
and if you've watched this episode without watching the first one, please go and watch the first one. Because volume 2 is a good book. Actually, Blue Kanyoni is a good book. Get both of them. Now, give us your parting shot as you tell the audience where to get the book.
Let's embrace the culture of reading. Yeah. Part of the reason why a human being grows is when you read. Unfortunately, I've tried that in my house and my 2 boys.
Imekata.
I have a collection of short stories in my home. Lakini vijana wako pale, they prefer football. But I'm trying. I'm trying. And I would encourage parents. You have invested in big screens, fridge imejaa, but I have come to learn one thing, that rarely will you find books in homes.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah. People don't read.
That's actually true.
Yeah. And that is something we should, as a parent. We have very small, the books to 20 pages. Buy those children. Today, we have, like in junior school, we have introduced literature, but you'll be surprised. Sometimes, tunasoma tu books tudogo tu. Pale mwalimu tu alimalizia. The students will wait for you.
Yeah.
Until the next lesson, ukuje sasa tuanzie hapo.
No one has dared to read even a page after.
A page after, they don't. So musome 2 pages, kitabu iwekwe, until the next lesson. So, how I wish we can embrace the reading culture, even in our homes. Switch that TV off, na watoto wasome, and ask them.
Yeah.
And you see, you'll not ask them questions when you have not read.
So you also have to read. Yeah. Read with them.
How many people read newspapers today? Let me challenge you. When was the last time you read a newspaper?
When was the last time you touched a newspaper?
See?
When was the last time you actually touched one? It's been a while.
So how I wish we would go back to that, to our reading culture. The phone, with all its advantages, it also comes with a whole load of disadvantages.
True. I agree. I agree. It's good that you've mentioned the reading culture, and I think that's something I've gotten back to the last couple of months.
Sure.
Yeah. Nimesoma hapa tumeletewa vitabu, as you can see.
Oh, sure,
And we have a lot of Kenyan authors here, which I'm also embracing. There's a lot of good writers out here. We are proud to have Blue Kanyoni part of our collection.
Sure.
So yeah, it's a good thing because each and every author has a different style of writing, and there's a different message that you're going to capture. The current book I'm reading is actually it speaks to me as a lady who is trying to grow into different levels in life. So, like you said, you actually do grow. You actually
you grow.
And authors know how to challenge you in so many ways.
But the problem is, kwanza, the TikTok. Somebody was saying it should be the fourth arm of government. It is a nice thing, no problem.
Wow,
But
no.
let us read fast. We read fast.
So siku hizi watu, nilisikia watu wakisema Gen Z na Gen Alpha siku hizi ni kuquote TikToks. There's a TikTok I saw. There's another TikTok I saw. It's not, there's a book I read. There's an article I was reading. It's all about TikTok.
So people can spend hours.
So many hours. Don't I know?
Yet not even 30 minutes.
Don't I know? This thing is a slave. You
is.
can become a slave to this thing. It can easily become your master.
And so many of us are.
Acha tusidanganyane, hapo ni ukweli. Hapo napo
Ni ukweli.
Hata tukisoma high school kunaambiwa technology has its advantages, lakini disadvantages ndio ulikuwa unaandika hadi 15. Awesome.
Yeah.
So where can people get the book?
Yeah, maybe they should contact me.
Yeah. We will place your Facebook account on our somewhere a link, and then they can call you, or you can contact us. You can DM us on any social media platform, and to connect na Teacher Beatrice, and you'll get the book. And it's not a lot of money. If you can afford to pay Wi-Fi every single month at 2,500, you will actually get 2 books of this. Ununue volume 1 na volume 2 at a go. All right. Thank you so much, Teacher Beatrice, for being here. Najua tutakuchukua tena siku ingine when you release the book on your teaching career.
Sure.
So this is a common, she's no longer going to be a guest. Najua tunambega mgeni siku ya kwanza, ya pili, ya saa ya tatu. Hapana, wewe si mgeni, wewe ni mwenyeji. So thank you so much. I'm looking forward to having people read books and spreading this knowledge, man. It's important to read. It's important to read. And thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you too.
Yeah. Is there anything?
Yeah. As I told them when I began, please subscribe.
And ukiwaonyesha tu hii link, tutakuwa na wengine wengi. Wengi. Watufikishe zao.
Sure. You will.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. To our audience, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, comment, and then buy this book. It's a very interesting book, as you've heard. And as you've heard in episode 16 when we talked about the first book. So get yourself Blue Kanyoni Volume 2 and Volume 1 if you hadn't. And let's grow the reading culture in our country and in Africa as a whole. All right. Thank you so much. Let's see each other on the next episode. Kwaheri.
Thank you and bye-bye.